Why did you move to North Carolina?
I transferred positions and I came to work at Lenovo.
Originally, from all the way back, I was from North Carolina, but I lived in Virginia most of my life, and then moved back down here as an adult with my family.
I came to America to study from India back in 1990 and to pursue the higher study here.
Coming from places as different as Virginia, New York, India, or China, people find themselves falling in love with North Carolina.
We have a strong heritage, and we have an appreciation for the new that comes in. For a while in my past, I lived in New York, and when I was there, as much as I loved it, and I loved it, you know, I longed to just like walk on grass. So I'd go to Central Park and pretend like I was back in North Carolina. You know?
Back in North Carolina, there's something in the environment that appeals to everybody.
I like being on the fall line. I like being where the river tumbles over the rocks, and you can go fishing, and there are like nice lakes and rivers and stuff like that.
First impression was it is very green and much different than the country I knew in a northeast or west coast area. So, I mean, North Carolina impression to me was a very green place and very quiet place in the beginning.
It's the diversity of the state, because an hour and a half from here we have Carolina beaches, which are beautiful, and then another hour and a half, 3 hours from here, is the mountainous region where beautiful Smoky Mountains and zip lining and all kinds of fun activities that we did not get in Texas.
I've always loved the Piedmont area. I like the fact that you can be close to the mountains or the ocean, which is, you know, that's classic central North Carolina thinking. But I actually like the landscapes around here. I like being able to be close to the woods and out in the country. There are lots of wonderful trails. You can bicycle, you can, you know, ride horses. It's an area that's not bounded by the city itself.
It's a very distinct region, whether you're living in the towns or out in the countryside.
I think they like it all. That's the thing. They like the diversity of the mountainous region versus the beaches, and with the changing of the season so much, there's always something new to offer every 3 or 4 months that they could do.
Looking back here, like I came here as a job market and I stayed here for job reasons as well as I liked my work and whatever. Now I look at it back that way, yeah, this is a nice place to grow the family, and we have a good community here, plus it's growing area. So that's why I stayed here and I continue to stay here.
Everybody has their own reason, but they all have a reason that they love this state.
I love it that it's a gentle place. It's a beautiful place. We have 4 seasons, and we can be out and about and do what we want almost all year round. We're not enclosed in buildings, and we don't have to wear heavy fur coats, and we swelter in the summer, but we have places to go. We've got lots of beautiful water. We've got and wonderful, wonderful people. It's really the people more than anything.
I would have to say the people. I love the people here. Everybody is very friendly, learning a lot about different cultures. It's really opened up my eyes to a whole new area of this great nation that we live in, and it's been a nice eye-opener to see just see a different part of our country, and to make new friends.
I visited probably other than Alaska and some few North Midwest state, I visited almost all states in this country. And it's different, it's phenomenal, it's better for long run livable wise, and quietness is much better here.
I think that people are kind, and I think that there's opportunity, so you're not stuck. I don't think you're defined by what family you're from or who you know, because I think there are plenty of options to change that whenever you want to.
There are many reasons to love this state. As we've heard, they range from experiencing the environment to exploring new places from the Smoky Mountains to the beaches of Ocracoke, or enjoying a climate that is always mild. But the most important reason for everyone is the people. No matter where you go, the people are kind. I always feel as if I'm among friends. If I need help, people will reach out to me. One of my teachers told me a story about a field trip he went on several years ago. The bus they were on broke down on the interstate on the way to Charlotte. Immediately, someone stopped to make sure everyone was alright. He stayed there until he was certain that everyone inside the bus was okay. It's that attitude of caring and compassion for others that makes North Carolina a special place to live. We all love it for its natural beauty, the variety of its landscape, all the way from the mountains to the ocean. But what really attracts and holds people from all over the world is the warmth and the generosity of its people. And that is the reason that I love North Carolina.